Well, happy Friday, Hope. In March of 2019, I got to go visit the Holy Land for the very first time. Incredible trip, getting to see lots of biblical landmarks. Of course, the highlight of the trip was the final 2 or 3 days we were in Jerusalem. And at one point, we got to go and visit the western wall of the Temple Mount. Now, the temple in Jerusalem was destroyed in the year 70 AD. But for centuries, the temple was central to the worship life of the people of Israel. As we've been doing our whole Holy Bible readings this week, we've been in the book of Hebrews, which spends a lot of time talking about the worship of the temple, the worship of the tabernacle, the role of the priests in worship. When we get to chapter 8, here's what the writer of Hebrews tells us. We have a high priest who sat down in the place of honor beside the throne of the majestic God in heaven. There he ministers in the heavenly tabernacle, the true place of worship that was built by the Lord and not by human hands. So obviously I'm standing outside of the place where we worship here at Hope Ankeny. I want to let you know there's some really amazing things happening this fall. We kicked off small groups this week. Almost 300 people in our church signed up for small groups that'll be meeting in October and November. Some of those started meeting already this week. We're excited to see what God's going to do through that. We're praising God for the ministry, the ongoing ministry of the Cupboard, our emergency food bank that serves pretty close to 1,000 people every month. We're praising God for what happens inside this building on Wednesday nights when hundreds of students show up for Power Life and Ignition, and families show up for Hope Families on Wednesdays. And we're praising God for what God is doing when we gather together for worship on the weekends, whether it's in the worship center or in the reservoir. God is on the move at Hope Ankeny. As the writer of the book of Hebrews reminds us, as incredible and awesome and inspiring as worship on earth can be in temples made by human hands, the day is coming when we will get to worship in a heavenly temple, a heavenly tabernacle with our risen Lord and Savior. We look forward to that day. But in the meantime, we invite you to get a glimpse of heaven on earth through the ministry of Hope.